darkwoods.com. This is Horribly Off Topic, episode number
240, I think.
It'd be good to know that. I'm off my game. We can.
I'll look it up.
You look it up because I don't actually
finish the intro, and then I'll say I'm Steve.
I'm Chris,
and I'm Steve,
and we are. This is an episode of our podcast, which is called Horribly Off Topic. I think I said that already. We don't know which episode. Normally that would be in the notes for it. It might be. I might still have the notes up here somewhere. But I am attacking my computer from a...
Actually, no, it's 237.
Oh, that's right. In a row.
Yes.
237 in a row. And I'm Steve.
No, you're Chris.
I'm Chris. You're Steve. This is my computer.
Start over. This is really bad.
It's not that bad.
No, I mean, this might be Brian's new favorite worst opening ever. Let's just stay with it then.
All right, we aim to please. So why is it so? Why am I discombobulated? Why does it sound slightly different?
Why does it seem like it's like when we recorded in that car that time?
It is kind of like when we recorded in the car that time. How did we do that?
I just had the microphone on the dashboard.
Did you have a laptop? No, or did we just record on the phone?
It was the iPad, I think.
Oh, it was okay, yeah. So we had the microphone connected to the iPad, the knee bones connected to the shin bone.
And it was on the dashboard, I think.
Okay, that's right.
And we were both facing forward, staring at Cinemagic. And
that's true. You were going to see a movie? No,
I was just meeting Becky.
Okay.
Somewhere. It might have been at the Winter Circle in Salisbury.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which is right next door to where we were.
Right. Not the Winter Circle.
No, the Winner's Circle.
The Winter Circle. When you talk about the Winter Circle, well, not really. You think there was a circle in Winterfell? There probably was. Somewhere. Let's not say anything more about that.
I think it was probably filled with jerks. See, Chris didn't get that joke.
No,
I hope somebody out there listening did.
How, do you want to explain it?
No.
No? Okay. All right. So, I got to give you a story. As to why I forgot the AC adapter for my Tascam US 4x4, which is what we usually plug our microphones into. So I had everything.
Don't gesticulate so much. You're going to be covering up your mouth from
covering up anything. My mouth is here. No, the microphone is there.
But if you're going like this, like every once in a while, your hand is going to get in the way of you speaking, and the microphone is somewhere there.
So you're saying that I would have failed mic technique had I been a communications major?
Well, I mean, it's hard to know where you're speaking into when you don't know where you're speaking into. We're just speaking at each other like we normally do. We just don't have the benefit of having a microphone right in front of our faces. But normally, you wouldn't be doing this while you talk.
Well, I mean, I
was doing some magic hands in front of my mouth to help you folks out with the visual.
Well, I think they appreciated that. The magic hands might in fact enhance the listening experience. You never know.
I had magic hands, the massage thing right in front of my mouth.
Oh my gosh, right in front of your face. You ever done that? Like massaged your face with the magic hands, like laid down on the bed, and it's magic fingers, right?
Sure.
Tickle me fingers, tickle me hotel. So what was I going to say?
You had this
thing.
Yes.
So we've been rocking with the Tascam US 4x4 for, I don't know, a year or so.
At least.
About a year or so. And
at least since we moved into the house. So it's almost 2 years now.
Yeah. Huh. Did we? I guess so. So this week, for the first time since owning this thing, it came out of the bag that it stays in during the week. So there's a bag. There's a hot bag.
I mean, everybody knows that Tascam's out of the bag.
Tascam's out of the bag. There's a hot old bag. An old hot bag. Hot old bag? There's a bag.
So Chris is just telling us that he's attracted to very older ladies, which is there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
just judge him if you'd like to.
If you would like, I'm
just
here.
Send an email hot@clarkwoods.com if you'd like to judge Chris about the things he does and says.
I am here for your judgment.
Cool.
I'm here for this. Yes, Queen, I'm here for this. So I have this Tascam, and it came out of the bag like a cat.
Yeah, that was the joke that I was making. The Tascam's out of the bag.
It's out of the bag, yeah. I had to ruin the joke because that's what we do.
That's what you do.
Well, we together do it because you have to tell the joke in order for me to ruin it. Okay. Or is that always true? Can I ruin a joke without you telling me?
I mean, it could be a joke that you say and then you
and then I ruin. Okay.
So it doesn't have to be a collaborative effort. You can do it all on your own.
Do you think the best jokes that are ruined are the collaborative ones, or are they the one or the ones?
I don't think any ruined jokes are great.
Okay. So I have this Tascam, and it came out of the bag.
It's sitting on the table here.
I think it's sitting there. It's sitting there to remind me of my failure.
Always something there to remind you.
There is always something there to remind me of my failure.
That could be a good show title. It's a little long, but
it's a little long, but Well, that was loud.
What, the clank or
the clank?
Yeah.
Well,
I can't give you a regular a hot coaster because that glass, your teeny glass,
it's not half empty.
Yeah, it's mostly full.
Mostly full.
And will be for most of the show until the very end, where you chug it just to say, I can drink a glass of water.
There's lots of clanking. Yeah. No, so I have a bag that I keep all of the hot stuff in. So our microphones, two microphones, no turntables. Microphone cords, the Tascam, the headphones that I use to monitor us.
Finish the fucking story. And what about the glands?
So they're all in the bag.
Yes,
they're all in the bag, except that this past week, my wife Stephanie, she works in an early child care center, and they are getting ready to graduate their preschool class up to kindergarten. And she has been asked by her administration to have the kids sing along to a song. Now, before I get into what song and all of that,
I'm guessing We Are the World.
No. But let them lead the way.
Okay.
Let the children guard what the sires have won.
I didn't know you knew the words so well.
No, that's the Chelmsford town motto.
Oh.
Which we were in the center yesterday. This is Memorial Day weekend, and I asked my wife, my two kids, and my nephew was with us if we could stop at the Forefathers Cemetery on the way back from where we were.
You wanted to do an etching?
No, not necessarily, but it turns out that one of their ancestors, not mine, but my wife.
Their T-H-E...
Yes,
T-H-E... apostrophe R-E...
No, their T-H-E-I-R.
T-H-E-R-E? Which there?
Yes, and... no, my wife... my girls and my nephew, who is my
sounds like a good you could do a spin-off podcast.
Oh, what would it be called?
That
okay. So they are all related to a lady who, for her second marriage, married a dude who lived in Chelmsford, and she died in Chelmsford, and I wanted to look and see if her tombstone was there in the Forefathers burial ground. It was not. She died in 1677. So
I'm thinking, and this would be a good idea for either of us, for when we pass on to the next world.
Yes,
that our tombstone should be an open pizza box, but as granite,
yeah.
But you can see the pizza, and it's what do you want on your tombstone?
No.
And then someone can sprinkle cheese and pepperoni all over it.
Could it be
instead of putting flowers?
Could it be?
And then all the local critters can enjoy all the dairy and kippered meat product.
Okay, now I know we're neither of us. I'm sorry, I got to stop gesticulating. Neither of us are John Kennedy, but John F. Kennedy's grave has the quote unquote eternal flame. So in this scenario that you're describing, where our tombstones...
Say my name, sunshine in the rain, my whole life. Was that super loud?
You can see
it was not
that bad.
Yeah.
So we each have a grave that's shaped like a pizza box. I'm with you there. Could we somehow make the grave be a working pizza oven, right? So that you bring your pizza to our tombstones.
Oh,
you put it on the grave, and it makes your pizza for you.
Or even better, we have like a pizza place, and I'm not saying a place where you would go and get pizza. Instead, a place where you would put a pizza.
Yes.
And then there's a mechanical vanoid. And he comes and he just smashes it with a hammer when you place a pizza on it. But it would only react to pizza because we don't want people sitting on there and getting smashed with a hammer.
Right. Yeah. No. The Noid would have to be programmed to be smart enough to know the difference between.
I mean, we're in 2019. I mean, we can get AI.
I sure
AI
hope so.
Noid statues to fucking function correctly, please.
The bright side is because I can't type on the computer, I do have to listen to the entire episode to find the show.
Well, you have an entire day. People aren't going to listen on Monday because it's the holiday. So, so you have an entire extra day to get it up.
Okay. Sometimes it takes me that long to get it up, much to my wife's chagrin.
She's just sitting there in the corner chagrining.
Chagrining. That's a what's that guy that did Rock Around the Clock and Shaboom Shaboom? I was gonna say that was one of his
Frankie Valli?
No, it's Billy Comet or something like that. Yeah. So we had to make a song this week. We were trying to make a song for my wife Stephanie to use in her classroom. And that's why all of the stuff was out. And then I made a version of the song, and it was okay. And I expected...
It was no Diary of a Hobo.
It was no Diary of a Hobo. And I expected that my daughter Kaylee was going to come in and basically use what I had put down as a tracking vocal, and then we were just going to cut my vocals out, and we would have my beautiful sounding, my daughter's beautiful sounding voice on the recording instead. But
instead, you got Gruffy McGee over here.
Well, so right now that's all that we have. But
was it a song that exists, or
yes.
Was it a song that was made up?
No. This is a song that exists, and I want to save that part for a second from now.
Okay.
Just
1 second from right now.
No, like a minute.
Okay.
I'll try to wrap up the Tascam story. So I left the Tascam, the microphone, everything set up all week because I thought Kaylee was going to finally sit down at some point and record her version of the song. It never happened. And so then this morning when I was gathering everything up to come over here to record the show, I gathered literally everything except the most important thing.
I think almost every single component is one of the most important things, the computer, like the cord to connect it to the computer.
Yeah, you kind of can't forget any of
the microphones. Like one of these things is missing. There's going to be a problem.
But we are still recording. The computer is the most important, right?
Yes,
because we need something to record onto.
Yes.
And so we are here and we are recording.
So yeah, your statement was false.
I forgot the damn plug. Okay,
right.
That's the end of the story.
That's what I was really hoping for.
I forgot the plug. I have everything else, but without the plug, the Tascam doesn't turn on, and so we are recording directly into the EyeSight microphone. I think that's the technical Apple-y term for.
It makes perfect sense to use something that's vision related to.
Well, there's the EyeSight camera, right? And I think so. Maybe the microphone doesn't even have a name.
How about ear sound?
Ear sound
microphone.
Ear sound. Can I just write that down and that can be the title? I can't write it down. Where am I going to write it down? I should take out my phone.
There's a thing like we
it's
have
called pen and paper.
We have pens and
papyrus.
I have a pile of Q-tips over there.
Oh,
moisten one and write something down in earwax.
How much do you think I have to moisten it?
I don't know.
Does it have to be really moist or just slightly moist?
To pull some goo out of your ear?
Okay, yeah. There's always some goo in my ear. All right, so
we're grossing people.
So this song. And then we should get to the really important stuff, which is Game of Thrones. Like we
I don't know if it's that important.
Okay,
but,
maybe it's not that important.
We can touch on it. Like now that people have had a week to be disappointed.
You're not giving anything away.
Well, I mean, it's like if you were on the internet like 5 minutes after the finale aired, like people were like, I didn't love that, and I'm like, okay,
yeah, that's why I try to stay off of the internet as much as possible.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
there's nothing but shitty presidents and
spoilers
about Game of Thrones
and people in their dumb opinions.
Yep.
Yeah. Every once in a while, somebody makes something cool, and I get to see that something cool, and I don't have to hear anybody's opinions about it. That's what I would like the internet to be for. I don't want anybody else's opinions. I would like opinions to be banned from the damn internet.
You know, opinions are like apples. They have way too much sugar.
Mm. And now, the more you know. I'm not finding that jingle. So the song.
No, I think you should. I mean, like it'll make up for the bad audio quality to get something from like 1990s like PSAs from NBC.
It's somewhere on the hard drive.
I liked the ones that Conan O'Brien used to do, like on his show. Like this was pre Tonight Show Conan.
Okay, like, so Conan, like yeah.
Like when he was on NBC after the Tonight Show,
right?
And he would do like him, Andy, and like Max Weinberg would each do one, and like Max's would always be like very creepy
because Max is creepy.
Yeah,
you know, his name is Max. I mean, how could you not be a little creepy with that?
I mean, at least you know he's not Min.
I've known some.
It's also Gina's character's name in D&D.
Is her character's name short for something, or is it just?
Yeah, it's that I don't remember her full name, but it's
Minerva.
It's definitely
Minerva.
Something like that.
Yeah.
She can yell at me when she listens and be like, "The fuck? Why don't you remember my full?"
That's assuming she didn't skip past this whole part once we started getting gross.
Well, like how many times did she? Like you know, she'll probably. I think she does the 15 second.
15 seconds. Okay.
Once, and then if we're still being gross, I think she'll do it again.
Okay.
So I think we
We're
made
safe.
it. Yeah. We made it past the part, and now she can listen to this and be mad that I forgot the character's name.
You remembered that it was Min.
Yes.
Okay. So you didn't totally forget. It's like
my character's name is Miles. It's hard not.
Miles Lightfoot.
Yes.
I don't even play your damn game, and I know that. I had to adjust my ears again.
And your fly.
Yeah. What? My fly? Is it down?
All right. So what was the fucking song?
Okay. So this is where I got to ask you your opinions about the song made popular by Ms. Cyndi Lauper.
Is it Girls Just Want to Have Fun?
No. Called True Colors. Yes.
Did your kids?
Yes, a bunch of preschoolers are going to sing She Bop to their parents in honor of them graduating to elementary school.
You mean preschool?
They're graduating from... Yeah, I said graduating to elementary school.
Yeah, I mean, it's a song about masturbation, you know. I mean, this is something that they're probably going to be thinking about in 10 years' time.
Yeah, for sure.
Or maybe less, 8.
Yeah, depends on, some kids grow up at different rates.
Right.
Paces.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But, so it's a fun little tune when you don't know what it's about.
Yeah. It just sounds like she's dancing.
Right.
She bop. She bops.
Mbop. Oh, that would have been a much better choice.
Mbop?
Yeah.
But do you know when I first heard that song, I was convinced it was by that the lead singer was a lady?
No. It was Hanson Brothers.
The Hanson Brothers, yeah. Well, just called Hanson.
I know, but they are brothers.
They are brothers. There was not a Hanson Brothers and a sister, but
this is a public pool.
I was convinced that the lead singer was a Hanson's sister. I thought, oh, that's cool. There's a sister and two brothers, and they have a band, and cool.
You know what's nuts? Like, I just made a reference to something that I think maybe Gina would get, and I'm not too sure about anybody else. Like, the Bullseye art, and I think they changed the website, and it became Magic Butter for a while, and then it just stopped existing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just wondering, like, in these days where, like, things are, like, permanently on the internet for in perpetuity, forever and ever and ever.
Right.
That is something like I want to watch these fucking cartoons, like these old Flash cartoons that came out in the late 90s.
Yeah.
And they don't exist anymore.
You got to go down on the...
They're not even on YouTube. There's like clips, like little teeny clips of them on YouTube, but like not the entire shows, which doesn't make any fucking sense.
Got to go on the deep web. The dark web.
Yeah, I'm not going on the dark web to try to find Bullseye art cartoons.
Well, if you really, really wanted them.
I didn't want to like Pork Chops, you know, and Internet, the series.
What was that one about?
The Internet.
Oh, of course it was. Of course it was.
And Two Brothers, which is where I got the public pool part. And there was another one. It was like, what the fuck was it? What the fuck was the one that had robots and...
It
was robots and something or other.
A video series?
Well, no, I was trying to think of the name of the website. It had the Skeletor job hunt when he worked at TCBY.
Oh.
And then there was like the robot with descended intestines, and he was trying to rent pornography. The song was like... I
obviously missed all the cool parts of the internet.
And the song was like, robots shouldn't have intestines, but this one does. And they're falling out. Falling out.
Oh, see, you sure you can't like do a Shazam or a Spotify or a Spotazam or something and like
try to find the robot with
sing that into your phone and it'll be like, here it is. You say okay Google and
so in case anybody's ever wondering if this comes up in a trivia night, like the porno that the robot with distended intestines was trying to rent at the video store was called Chunky Asses.
Just not Chunky Asses Volume 6.
No, it was
just
Chunky
Asses. The original, the canonical Chunky Asses.
Yes.
Okay. All right. What is your feeling about True Colors? We went off on a tangent. We got horribly off topic in talking about She-Bop and Mbop and all of that. But True Colors was the song that we were trying to record. And I'll explain why we were trying to record that version. But what's just your general feeling about it?
It's a song. Like, it's... if you hadn't mentioned that it was Cyndi Lauper, no, I think I would have been able to identify it as her. But like, it's not the ones that immediately come to mind when I think of a Cyndi Lauper song.
Yeah. Well, I think I could be wrong. I know Phil Collins eventually did a version. I think Cyndi Lauper's version was the more famous one and the one that came out first.
Right.
But the more recent version is from a film called Trolls. Are you familiar with this film?
Troll 2?
Not Troll 2. Okay. No. Even though it Trolls plural.
I really hope that like they're probably going to make a sequel to this Troll movie, right? Or the Trolls movie.
Probably at some point.
Yeah, I mean, like these computer animated for kids movies tend to get sequels pretty often, and so like there's a good chance. And if they don't make a Troll 2 reference in Trolls 2, then they are they're derelict in duty of being people that write meta jokes in fucking movies.
Okay. Well, we'll have to find out. Let me find out. Let's look at the internet here and determine whether or not a Trolls 2 is in production. So the song True Colors features in Trolls.
Like, I hope they have like a scene in Trolls 2 where there's like a sexy corn thing going on.
Yeah, no, there is no. It's not going to be called Trolls 2. This is probably how they're going to get away with not referencing Troll 2. It is going to be called Trolls World Tour. and it comes out next year in 2020.
What film studio is putting that out?
That is, and the original title was Trolls 2, but apparently they have changed their mind. This is produced by DreamWorks Animation.
All right, DreamWorks, I'm done with you. Not that I was watching any of your products prior to now.
Yeah.
But now I'm going to actively shy away from anything you put out because you just dropped the fucking ball.
Yeah. It's a shame, you know.
For those of you out there who are completely unaware of Troll 2, there was a documentary about it maybe about 5-6 years ago called The Best Worst Movie.
Oh.
And so it kind of like goes into the...
It's even better than Room? The Room.
Room was...
Room is the good one. Room is the good one.
The Room is the good one.
No, but Room is the one that was like up for Academy Awards and crap.
I mean, The Room should have been up for Academy Awards.
But so Trolls 2...
No, Troll 2.
Troll 2... even better at being a bad movie than The Room.
No, but like, I mean, it's maybe the documentary came out before that. I don't know. But like, because The Room didn't come out until like early 2000s. But Troll 2 came out, I believe, in at least either the late 70s, early 80s.
Okay.
Or maybe it was the mid 80s. I'm not sure.
So you're saying that but when did the documentary come out?
Well, I mean, you are the one with your phone out.
Right.
You might as well fucking look it up.
Let's see. Best Worst
Movie.
Best Worst Movie came out in 2009.
Okay. So yeah, it was 10 years ago now.
Yeah. But it's let's see. Oh no, I did not tap on that. Ugh. Best Worst Movie.
But yeah, it goes into what makes a bad movie good, and like it, in that idea. And so it's movies like Troll 2 and The Room that are fucking terrible. But I think the things that make it like good are the things that endear these kind of like terribly campy or like just plain shitty movies is the fact that the filmmakers that are making them like really think they're doing a great job. Yeah.
Well, I would say that the songwriters of well, not the songwriters, but the arrangers, the producers of the version of True Colors from Trolls think the same thing. They think they are doing
so maybe that's the meta.
And no, but here's the thing. The world thinks that they're doing good work. And I, who had to try and redo that song, don't agree. And I don't know whether that... So, all right, so the reason I had to redo it very quickly...
Are they just trying to get troll dolls to be a thing again? Is that why they came up with that movie last year? Don't look it up, Chris. This was a rhetorical question.
It's been out for a couple of years, that movie. That's all I was going to look up. Yes, I think so. They think they look very much like troll dolls, I think is the notion.
But I haven't seen them. Well, not that I'm like hanging out in stores often.
Yeah.
Like doing retail shopping like I used to. So it's not like I'm running in and being like, what are all these fucking troll dolls doing all over the place?
I mean, I don't know if they did the merchandising as well as somebody like, or as well as somebody like Disney would do. I think they definitely did the merchandising, but I don't think they overdid it. So I was aware that Trolls related merchandise was out there. My daughter Melody had a Trolls themed birthday party the year that it came out, and I have seen in passing most of the movie. It's a passable DreamWorks movie, but the song.
So like. You would say that
it's a shitty movie. I mean, but like most DreamWorks movies. But
oh come on, what about Shrek?
Well, that's the exception.
Is it?
I mean, Shrek is successful at what it's trying to do.
I don't like. I haven't seen Shrek in a while, and I don't think it's going to hold up. I think it was fine for like because I think Pixar was the only studio that had done like a computer animated film.
Disney had also done it in the years where they weren't sure if they were going to be able to keep their relationship with Pixar. But yeah, so there were a couple. Oh, it's fine. So, there were a couple of others, but yeah, you're mostly right.
Yeah, I mean,
Pixar was pretty much the only game.
Yeah, but like, yeah, so like there wasn't there wasn't like anything from any other studio. So that, like, I think that was a major triumph, and so people were like, "I love Smash Mouth" and their song "All Star."
Yeah, I mean, and they like Eddie Murphy,
Yeah, I mean, he apparently is like the king of the voice acting, or well, the king of celebrity voice acting.
I think that's fair. Not much
because he'll just be like, "I'm in here in the studio. Where's my script?" He'll bang it out in an afternoon and be like, "Okay, give me a giant stack of cash."
Have you heard my conspiracy theory about Eddie Murphy, Shrek, and Mulan?
Let's hear it.
All right. Well,
I mean, we still got a half an hour.
But we can talk about Game of Thrones.
We can.
We can, but we had to get.
I think everybody.
True colors. That was an important. So everybody, what?
You didn't like that version that they wrote.
All right, so I'll come back to my theory. Let's wrap up True Colors. So anyway, the reason Stephanie needed a re-recording of it is that there's a lot of harmonizing because it's a duet between, or it's kind of a duet between Justin Timberlake and Anna Kendrick.
Are they trolls in the movie?
They are trolls in the movie.
Oh wow!
And
it's big gets.
So it's mostly Justin Timberlake. No, he was the star. They were the stars. So it wasn't just this was a Timberlake Kendrick vehicle. And so
I mean, I don't. They get some cash. I mean, I'm not going to begrudge them, but
no. What I'm saying is
it doesn't mean I'm not going to razz them.
This version is mostly Timberlake. My first complaint is that he does what a lot of pop stars do and just
bring sexy back.
No, only he brought sexy. I said a lot of pop stars. That's a singular Timberlakian accomplishment.
Okay,
like how I just made his name an adjective, Timberlakian.
Yeah, that is something.
No, so see, I'm bringing sexy back by inventing words like Timberlakian.
That's doubtful.
Can I make that the title? Timberlakian? No. So
maybe Justin Timberlake will listen to that and be like,
when I was
made my name a word.
When I was on the website mp3.com with my band Pop Bubblegum Trash back in 1999, 2000, I tried to upload a song called "Justin Timberlake Is My Hero," which was my parody of NSYNC. And it was rejected because it was said that I was gaming the system. Because the way that mp3.com worked is so somebody would type in Justin Timberlake, I would have gotten way up the rankings because my song had his name in it, which was not what I was trying to do. I was just trying to be funny, which we know doesn't work very often. But I had to change it, and so it was uploaded just as Justin Is My Hero.
That's stupid. But I remember Adam and His Package had a song called Tim Allen Isn't Very Funny or something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
and it was an instrumental, so it was not like there was anything to it.
Did it have his mouth noises?
What the?
I had a student. I had a student for.
I thought you were just end the sentence there.
No. I'm trying
proud
to
of
be.
You. Just the one, huh?
I'm trying to be diplomatic. I had a student who, as a sort of art project, I did put scare quotes around that.
Scare quotes?
Air quotes. Scare quotes, air quotes, whatever,
Scare quotes would be like if you did it on Halloween.
So this student made an entire poem, again, quotes around the word poem, out of the sound that Tim Allen makes. And it was a page-long version of that sound. And the middle of it was designed to, with the text, look like Tim Allen's face. And this was accepted and printed in the latest issue of our literary magazine. And so 15 years from now, he'll be on a podcast and talking about it, how he got into...
You really think there's going to be podcasts 15 years from now?
I hope not. No.
Because we'll have to do this for another fucking 15 years. The 20-year anniversary. We'll be like,
my goodness.
Hey, remember 15 years ago when we were talking about your student's Tim Allen poem that looked like Tim Allen's face and went,
all right, so
because I won't.
Yeah. So True Colors, Justin Timberlake does a lot of like extending of the notes and crap like that, but even that's not so bad. What it is that Anna Kendrick comes in and harmonizes, and so you're talking about 4 to 5 year olds, and they are not going to harmonize. They need just one part to sing along with. So that was the goal.
There's a choice we're making. Oh, wait, no, I'm back to We Are the World.
So the goal was
and then the one kid that can't sing well, you just put them in the back and they're the Dan Aykroyd.
So that was the goal. We were trying to record a version that would be just one vocal line that the kids could sing along with. But then the whole project kind of fizzled, but I didn't pack up the bag, and, now we're back to
35 minutes later, we finally finished talking about
All right, so here's my theory about Eddie Murphy, my conspiracy theory about Eddie Murphy, Shrek, and Mulan.
At least it's not like, like jet fuel can't melt steel.
No, that's not how it's said. Go on, you gotta go.
I don't know what the actual thing is.
No, you gotta give us the full-on impression. You gotta give us Jesse Ventura saying it. I mean, it's not really complete unless we hear Jesse.
I was a Navy SEAL, a veteran, a governor.
Thermite can't. What was it?
Yeah, the thermite paint was the thing.
Thermite paint can't. I don't know.
No. The thermite paint was like that. That was the conspiracy theory. Is that like the inside of the World Trade Center was like sprayed with thermite paint, so like it would like melt the steel, and then it would cause the buildings to collapse.
Who painted it that way?
Somebody.
Okay, somebody. All right. Yeah. No. So it's nothing like that conspiracy theory. But I'll just say it one more time.
Let's go over the most plausible thing. Someone spraying the walls of the World Trade Center
with thermite
paint, a thing no one's fucking heard of. Except for you, Jesse.
Well, I was a veteran.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like, you served our country, and we thank you for it on this Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, well, he's not dead yet.
But you are
is he dead?
He's still alive, but...
Okay. Memorial Day's for the dead guys.
Okay, well,
right?
for the guys and ladies that you served with, that are no longer with us.
He has to wait till fucking November. Then we'll show him some respect.
Are you planning something?
No, Veterans Day.
Oh, okay.
On Veterans Day, if he's still alive, we pay respect. Well, alive or dead, right? I think that's the difference. It's like why do we have any holidays? But I think we have Veterans Day for all veterans, and we have Memorial Day for the dead.
See, one of the things that bugs me more than anything, is when they try to usurp my favorite holiday, Labor Day, and make it part of veteran stuff. And I'm like, fuck you, no, this time. It's not like they're like, well, they didn't fight for... Well, if these fucking people that died that weren't fucking veterans, they were just people that worked for a living, that were fighting for a 40-hour week. That's what fucking Labor Day is about. And eat shit if you try to make it about veterans.
I hadn't even thought about them doing that. Now that you say it, I can sort of see...
You got Memorial Day, you got fucking Veterans Day. Don't take my fucking Labor Day.
Yeah, no, they should not be doing that, but we're all about the troops. All right, here's the theory. I'm just going to say it one more time, because if I say it one more time, somebody might be able to guess the theory before I even say it. And I just want to provide the opportunity.
Yelling at the radio.
All right. So the theory involves Eddie Murphy, Shrek, and the movie Mulan.
Okay.
Now, are you familiar that Eddie Murphy was a voice in both of these movies?
Right. Yes.
Okay.
We actually watched Mulan not too long ago.
Okay.
Like my first actual viewing of it, because it was one of those Disney movies that came out after I gave a shit about Disney movies.
It came out after you graduated high school.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think was it 98, 99?
Yeah. So it came out probably a year later. It was no. Okay. So no, it came out the year you graduated high school.
So 97?
No, a year later. 98.
So 98.
98. Because I went
That's
on
when they had the Szechuan sauce at McDonald's.
I went on a date with Stephanie to go see Mulan, and at the Lowell Showcase Cinema, not Lowell, the Lawrence Showcase Cinemas,
which is no longer there.
No
and
longer
there
there.
Used to be a Denny's right there,
Yeah.
which is no longer there.
Oh, I didn't. I mean, I haven't.
At least
gone
I don't
off
think
that,
it's there anymore.
Yeah, I haven't gone off that exit in a while, so I knew that the one of the showcase buildings was torn down. One of them is still there, but vacant. I did not know about the Denny's.
I imagine the Methuen Theater didn't exist back when you were in college, because I imagine that would have been a lot closer, and we're getting local for you, kids.
I think there might have been a theater, but it would have been a shitty one.
It wasn't like
like the Methuen Mall was what was there when I was
it wasn't
in
the
college.
Loop back then?
No. The Methuen Mall was on its last legs, I think, the entire time while we were in college, and then after we graduated was when or maybe, I don't know, maybe it was while we were in college that they tore it down. Because it wasn't long after college that I remember going to the Loop for the first time and just being like, whoa, this is different.
This is different.
Okay, so anyway, I saw Mulan in the theaters. You did not.
But I did see it.
You did see it.
And I am aware that Eddie Murphy is in it.
Okay, now could you tell the fine folks at home, Steve, if they are not familiar, what character does Eddie Murphy play in Mulan?
I mean, he's the dragon. I don't know what the hell his name is.
No, that's fine. He's the dragon.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in the film series Shrek, could you tell the audience who Eddie Murphy plays?
Donkey!
Okay. Now, Donkey's love interest in Shrek is...
a dragon. And they have children who are either mostly little dragons with a little bit of donkey or mostly donkeys with a little bit of dragon. Now, my theory is that Shrek and all of its sequels are prequels to the film Mulan, and that Eddie Murphy is playing a descendant of Donkey, that Mushu, his dragon character in Mulan, is a descendant of Donkey and Dragon from Shrek. And that eventually, when Disney owns everything, including DreamWorks and my children and the whole world, that Disney will reveal. Hopefully,
this.
Are you just going to sell them so like you can get into a Disney park?
You're like, sorry, kids.
Sorry, you guys. I mean,
I know you guys like Disney too, but we like it more.
I mean, you're gonna just be like real life. It's a small worlds.
Kaylee is almost as tall as Stephanie now, so she I don't think either one of them. Well, they are on the short side, but I don't think either one of them could pass for Small World.
Okay, I've never been on it. I don't know how.
No, they're little. They're really small.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like small. Yeah. Yeah. So that's my grand theory of everything is that Eddie Murphy is
of everything.
Of everything. Yeah, I think it all comes back to Eddie Murphy. Banana in the tailpipe.
Oh, from Beverly Hills Cop?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what that's where the end of the world begins and then restarts. And I don't know. I don't have a grand theory of everything. There was a movie. There was a movie that this is my other thing. Eddie Murphy was in. It was after Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2. Was it after 3 or was it before 3? I don't know, but it was Eddie Murphy playing a cop who wasn't Axel Foley, and so
it confused everybody.
No, I mean it confused me because he was basically Axel Foley, except he wasn't Axel Foley, and it was either I remember going this might as well be Beverly Hills Cop 3 or this might as well be Beverly Hills Cop 4, and I think they actually did come out with whatever the next one was, but I think it's like an unofficial sequel. And the other thing that I remember about that movie is that it involves a bank robber who is the dumbest person in the movie, and his name is Earl. So my friends,
just like you, man.
My friends all, no, my name's the dude. Wait, no, what does he say in that scene? That's your name, dude.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Am I out of my element? Hey, we should talk about Game of Thrones a little bit.
Do you really want to?
I do. I really would like to. I mean, I want you to have your chance to vent your disappointment.
I mean, I wasn't necessarily disappointed. I mean, I knew what was going to happen. It was going to be I knew from watching season 7 and 8, it was just a super rush job.
Okay, got it.
Fan service seasons, because it was so remember the whole Robert Jordan conversation?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And he had the outlines
right
for the remaining book, which was supposed to be one book.
Right.
But it was given to Brandon Sanderson, and
yes.
he wrote 3.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I hear, did a good job.
That is what I hear as well.
So I think what didn't happen with these final seasons of Game of Thrones was they were given an outline by George R.R. Martin.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, characters are here, here, and here. We need to get them here, here, and here. And we for some reason want to shoot less episodes.
Right.
And so they're basically, they handicapped themselves stupidly and just said, okay, here's this crazy shit that needs to happen. And then it got rushed, and then people were just time traveling, or not time traveling, but just being like, hey, I'm over here now. Hey, I'm over at Dragonstone. Oh, I'm back at the wall. Hey, look at me. I'm zipping around.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck? How did you get there so fast?
Which wouldn't be as much of a problem if the series hadn't established how long it takes. The first few seasons really established how long it takes to get anywhere. And by that I mean episode-wise. Right, so they established a certain pace. And in storytelling, when I'm teaching my students, we'll sort of talk about the fact that you can break any rules you want, any of the so-called rules of fiction, but you have to be consistent within your own story.
Right.
And I would say that the bulk of what people are disappointed in Game of Thrones this season, and maybe even the latter part of last season, or all of last season, depending on who you are, is that they were not being consistent with what rules they themselves had established in the early going.
And they did not do enough, they did not do enough to develop the themes that they were kind of trying to push at the very end. Danny going cuckoo bananas, and then I don't know.
Yeah, no, I am with you. I think what made the final episode more palatable to me is I had already, as we had on the show, I'd already had my disappointment.
Yeah.
Right? I had already had my expectations kind of subverted and not in a good way by the Winterfell episode, and I was like, okay, now
I'm expecting nothing good.
Well, not even nothing good. It was just that and I think you have just alluded to, you understood this earlier than I did, that it was a rush job, right? Even last season, in things that in hindsight seem like a rush job, like the escape from behind the wall where they're on the frozen lake.
Yeah.
Right? Even, in hindsight, I can say, yeah, that feels rushed. At the time, I thought, well, I'll deal with it because it feels like a well-paced episode of television. I wasn't looking at it in the context of the grander scheme of things or as a sign of things to come, whereas maybe you were and others were. So I had a more sort of, as we talked about, a more violent reaction to why the hell is this all over? And then I looked at how many episodes were left and was like, oh, okay, so now that's why the Night King is, I almost said Ice King.
I mean, he is kind of like the Ice King.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a hockey player too. The Ice King.
The Ice King. It's all in the Ice King.
No. So yeah,
the things audio can't capture, that look. Yeah. So you were gonna say?
So yeah, like it wasn't the worst finale I've ever seen.
No,
it wasn't the best.
I mean,
It was probably closer like to lower middle as opposed to upper middle.
Yeah, and just so, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people listening who have been listening for a while or who know you already know this, but what's your bar for like what's the best final episode you've seen?
The two that I
Seinfeld.
No, Seinfeld was garbage. Like, it was a series that I love, and their finale was garbage.
For those of you who are just joining us, the joke there is that the only episode of Seinfeld I've ever watched is the finale.
Not anymore.
Oh, sorry. One of 2 episods I've watched.
And you liked the other one.
Did I?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
These 2 finales happened at approximately the same time, and I think it was perfect. The way they both wrapped up, like how crazy different they were. Dexter,
right,
used to be, was on Showtime. I found to be one of the most abysmal endings I've ever seen.
Okay,
and it was just like, what the fuck were you thinking? So and then Breaking Bad, I think, was like a week or 2 later. And I thought that was a terrific ending.
Right.
Like it was satisfying. It was like, if you haven't fucking watched the end of Breaking Bad, Walt dies at the end. Like, and thank God, because he like the whole premise of that show is Walt's descent.
Right.
Like, at the beginning you're kind of rooting for him. You're like, well, he's trying to help out his family, and then he keeps on making decisions that make him less good of a person.
Right.
And so, like, he eventually becomes this complete fucking shithead.
Yeah.
And, like, he died. Well, he in the final episodes, he basically dies to save Jesse. And which is good. He finally does something good, and he dies because he's ruined his fucking family life. He's ruined everything.
Yeah.
And what is that?
Oh, that's my daughter asking for a app. Not now.
Not while we're recording the podcast. Nope. So, like, yeah, Breaking Bad I thought was a great ending, and I'm hoping it's not going to come out till next year with the final season of Better Call Saul. But like. It's weird because, like, I think I like that series more because it's
Better Call Saul or
Better Call Saul, actually. Yeah. And because, like, like his character in Breaking Bad was just sort of like comic relief for most of the time.
Yeah. But
like he is funny in Better Call Saul, but like he gets like emotional beats and it's good, and his trajectory, or am I saying that word right?
Yeah, I think so.
Is kind of all over the place, because like he starts off as like a petty criminal, and then he gets his law license, but then he's like being, and then he's doing the public defender thing, and then gets hired by a nice firm, back and forth, up and down, and then he keeps on like sabotaging himself, and he's a way more interesting character, and so I'm like that's one that's coming up that I'm actually legit like excited about, because I know what happens to him.
Right.
Like, he becomes Walt's lawyer.
Got it.
But like, I want to know how he got there. Like, why are like certain people no longer in his life that are like,
that are in this show. Yeah.
Or, well, who knows? Maybe they are, and we just, because he's just been such a peripheral character.
Yeah.
In Breaking Bad that he didn't.
Does it seem like they are going to catch up? Like, are they gonna? So it's a prequel. Yeah. Are they going to catch up to where he comes into Breaking Bad?
I'm assuming. Okay. I'm assuming that that's how the like maybe there's going to be a prologue. What's
epilogue?
Epilogue. There we go. That's the one. There'll be an epilogue where like they'll be like, so you're 3:30s here, and it's like Walt opens the door and then cut to black or whatever.
Right. Be good. That is a show based on those 2 shows based on your thoughts on it, but also my friend and former student Victor I won't say his last name just in case. But he is a.
You could say his last name and then beep it.
I don't want to.
Oh, okay. What? You don't like creating more work for yourself?
Victor was well, I had him for fiction classes mostly, but he was a screenwriting major, and he just really sharp, and that's both of those are his favorite show. And he's done, I think he's interviewed some of the people, screenwriters and things that have done work on
Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
Yeah. And so, he was trying to convince me to watch it back when he was my student. And I think we've talked about this. I watched the first season and a few, I don't know if it was season and a half, but I didn't stop because I didn't like it. I just stopped because I got too busy. So that's one that I really want to come back to based on everything.
Well, you know the end now.
Well, I don't. Spoilers are not a thing that bothered me unless I feel uncertain about how the movie or TV show is going to be. If I feel like the movie or TV show is going to be quality, then I'll spoil it. I don't care, because I know that I'm going to come back to it again and again. And I actually prefer the second, third, fourth viewing reading to the first. If I suspect that it will be crap and that the only thing it has going for it is the surprise, then I don't want to spoil it for me. And increasingly, as I get older, if I find that there are things that I don't want to spoil, I'm like, you know what? I don't even care.
Well, another thing about Better Call Saul, like the character of Mike, I really liked that character in Breaking Bad, and so it was just like, oh, okay, like this guy's in it too, and like a lot of times like episodes will be split almost like 50-50
between Saul and Mike.
Yeah. So it's good shit.
Yeah, I mean that's what I have heard. I've heard nothing but good stuff. Knock on whatever that it ends well.
I think, I mean, if they follow their formula from the previous series, I think it'll and people were nervous that Better Call Saul, they were going to do it at all, because it was something that like they're like, oh, you're just going to do a prequel with this guy, and then I think it's terrific. Right. Yeah.
I think you have right in our current media landscape where nobody wants to come up with original ideas. They just want to do spin-offs and prequels and whatever. I think that it probably is just sort of girding yourself to expect that these things are going to go poorly, and then to be pleasantly surprised.
I mean, Vince Gilligan's been writing for years, and like I think he wrote for the X-Files.
I was going to say that the name sounds familiar.
And then he caught his big break with Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Breaking
Bad.
So what? I kept on interrupting you, but what about you as far as the finale? Where does it rank?
I mean,
right up there with the Lost finale.
No, well, yeah. I mean, we've talked about that. I like Lost from front to back, and there will never be another. Yeah, I feel pretty safe saying that there will never be another Lost for me. Like Lost is the pinnacle for me of what a TV show can be.
You are everybody.
And that is despite its many, many flaws. I will not deny that there are many, many flaws. And because I have watched Lost so many times, I know pretty well what those flaws are, but I still love it.
It's weird because I think Lost was one of the shows that fell victim to the writer's strike.
Oh yeah.
And I think that was around season 4.
Well, it was a combination of things in season 3, season 4. Yeah, I think season 4 started late because of the strike. I have to go back and look at Geek Force 5. I blogged about it a lot at the time.
Oh yeah.
But yes, it did fall victim to that, as a lot of shows did around that time. I think it's. I mean, I want to get back to Game of Thrones, but I think its major thing was season 3 feels the weirdest of all of them, because that's the season where they are behind the scenes debating back and forth with ABC about how many more seasons they want to do. And it's my contention that once they have the go-ahead from ABC that they're only going to do X number more episodes, that the series gets I don't want to say, I'll say better. I know other people would not say better, especially the last season. But seasons 4, 5, 6 the last one?
6 was the last
Yeah,
one.
so 4 and 5, I think, get, not undeniably, because I'm sure, but I think they get as good as the show is going to get. They never get close to season 1. Season 1 is just a remarkable season of television.
Yeah, I mean that's like I was fully like I did not watch it when it was on.
Yeah,
but I watched that. I think that was one of those series that like sold like gangbusters on DVD.
Oh yeah,
because it's like it was like one of those things that, like before binge watching was a thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, I need to watch every episode of this fucking series. Like,
yeah, I mean, and that's how I had borrowed the DVDs from my friend John, one of our many friends, John.
Funny you should say that.
And I was homesick and binge watched it.
I did the same from a friend of mine named John, not your brother, and not the same John. A different John from college.
It's all these Johns and their lost DVDs. But in terms of, because we're right near the end here, in terms of Game of Thrones, I definitely feel it was rushed, right? But there are such great moments that's why I'm having mixed feelings, because I can see as a writer how those moments arranged differently with more between them would have made for a very satisfying seasons. How many more seasons? Like if they were gonna, so let's close on this. If it was perfect, how many more seasons would it have been?
0.
Just this season would have been longer?
No, both season 7 and season 8, if they were at like the amount of episodes they had every other season, which was I think approximately 10.
Yeah.
Add 4 to each of the seasons.
Okay.
You got yourself 8 extra episodes to fucking do the things that you needed to do to develop character.
Right. Was the previous season just 6? I thought it was.
I think it was short as well. Yeah.
Okay. I knew this one was short. I did not think the last one was as short. Okay, so you're saying just extend.
Or fucking George R.R. Martin could have fucking finished 2 or 3 books in the. When did the fucking series start?
2008, 9. I don't remember. I had to look it up for the book that I'm writing, but I have since forgotten.
I think it was like 2010, maybe 9 or 10 or something like that.
Maybe it was 10. Yeah, I think it was 8 or 9 was when the first. Tyrion and who was the other person that was cast? Tyrion and Sean Bean were cast early.
Okay. So yeah, like, and I think he released 1 book
during the run of the show.
During the run of the show.
Yeah.
So.
Which I guess is considered by a lot of people one of the weaker books in the series. At least I heard that from somebody the other day. I don't know. It's a bummer.
But yeah, like you had like how many years? Like 10 years to release 2 more books.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to finish. I think it's going to be a situation where he's got to be so. And I think this was my with my friend Jana. We were talking about this. As a writer, he's got to be so. If he already was facing writer's block, the reaction to this season, I just think it's going to completely paralyze him. I don't think he can. And I'm reading into it a lot, but I assume that what he's dealing with is he wants it to be perfect. Because he has written other things. Other things have come out, but he wants this to be perfect. And now he sees how people reacted to an imperfect adaptation, and he must be sitting there thinking, I don't know.
Well, maybe if he had released the books before, like, everybody was, like, super obsessed with this fucking series.
Yeah.
Then.
So you're saying he dug his own grave. Now He's got to go lie in it.
Yeah. Or maybe
before writing it the final
give the fucking outline to Brandon Sanderson and he'll finish it for you because you apparently can't do it.
Yeah,
and he did a good job for Robert Jordan, according to some people.
Yeah, I think Brandon Sanderson probably wants to write his own shit at this point.
He does, but like, in fact, I think I have one of his novels on my phone. I got it for free off like Apple book.
Okay.
iBooks, is it what
it's Apple Books now.
Apple.
It might have been iBooks when you got it, depending on when you got it.
Yeah,
I think that
so
was
I have that. I've never read it, but he is writing his own material. But I imagine he would gladly take the torch and be like, "I'll write a book for you."
The torch and the paycheck.
Yeah.
You can find the show notes for this episode at. You want to say something funny before I say that?
No, go.
You can sign. You can sign.
You can sign on the dotted line.
You can sign the guest book back in the good old days of the web. You can find the show notes for this episode at
Check out my live journal. No.
clarkwoods.com. I had it up here. 30 seconds. clarkwoods.com/237. No, clarkwoods.com/hot/237. We had a great opening, great ending. You can
email us. hot@clarkwoods.com is the email address. Send Chris some messages. Tell him how much you love him.
Yeah, you do love me. They love me. You love me. Isn't that's what Sally Field says at the end of their speech or something.
Did you get an award?
I don't know. Did I?